everyone, welcome to Good Morning Toowoomba with Ben Apsey and...
Daryl Nicholson, more than just a postcode. Got a few things on the agenda this morning, mate. Annette Blaine's just tuned in. G'day, Annette. Hope you're going well in hospital. I popped up and saw her the other day. So, gee, St Andrews, mate, just got to do a bit of a sign-in, and it's a big hospital. It's huge. Took me ages to walk to the south wing.
Nowhere near as big as the new one out at Bailey Henderson's is going to be.
Oh, right, okay. Well, good.
It's going to be one big state-of-the-art hospital,
okay.
That one.
All right. Well, good morning, Annette. I'll catch up with you in the next couple of days. A low of 14 last night, a high of 22 today. It's now 15 degrees and mostly cloudy, 80% chance rain. It was good last night, rain, thunder.
The thunder was very nice to hear.
Very frightening. It was good. It was great.
Scaramouche.
If anyone wants a black cat, there's a black cat at my place. It actually got wet last night and had to sleep under the house. But I'm not a big fan of cats, but there's a cat that's adopted me and I need to rehome it. And the funny thing was I took it to the vet and it's owned by a lady in Wairima. She rang me, she's now in Ingham, and the cat's been missing for 5 years.
5 years.
So I don't know where it's been for 7. It's 7 years old. I don't know where it's been for 5 years, but it's
made its way from my room.
It's at my place, and it's picked me, and I need to rehome it.
Why does she want it back?
Well, I offered to ship it back to her, and she said I thought it got bitten by a snake, and she didn't say yes or no. So she goes, "Don't you want a cat?" And I'm like, "No,
no."
But anyhow, if you want a black cat, it's really nice. It's friendly, it's a nice little animal. So, made business at dusk last night at TAFE. Good event. It was cold in the shed out there. It was cold. And the ladies...
It was cold during the day in the CBD. That wind just happened. It was just that piercing...
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was really good. They did. They had the guys from Vanderfield, Toowoomba. They had 2 of the executives there and 1 new apprentice. And they had a mature age apprentice, and Todd was sort of thinking, if that guy's a mature age apprentice, Todd must be in the grave. But the mature age apprentice can be 21 and over, and I think this guy was about 26. But Vanderfield now merged with a group called RDO, and they've formed RDO Australia. They're the biggest John Deere sales company in the world. They had the same number of apprentices as field mechanics.
So do you get a Vanderfield deal on a John Deere ride-on, or do you get an RDO deal on a John Deere ride-on?
I don't know, mate. It was really confusing how they were explaining their company structure, but because Vanderfield Toowoomba have just bought another branch of Vanderfield with 11 branches, and they're under the RDO banner, but really exciting times. And, mate, the apprentice thing really got me interested because they've got mostly people that stay at Vanderfield are 20, 30, 40 years service. They don't leave. Once they do some turnover, but people are really dedicated to that company. It was really interesting last night. I wouldn't mind getting one of those guys on to talk about
loyalty,
their
business loyalty.
Well, they just said put an apprentice on. You know, give an apprentice a go. So it was really good. COVID box of food. Yeah, it was all right. I'm not going to rave about it, but that's the sort of times we live in, I guess. But I was hungry, but it was good, and I like the business at dusk. I'll go to the next one. Lots of things coming up with the chamber too. So
business at dusk.
Breakfast with the mayor.
We'll be on again in November.
Yep.
The mayor's 6-month breakfast.
I'm going to that.
There's the AGM's tonight.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
But you have to be a member to go to that one. Then they've also got the Business Excellence Awards.
Yep.
As well, coming up in December.
I've got to get my ticket for that, so you're going, I know that. But the rain's been really great, so mate, Project School Formal, I caught up with Gay and Kim Stokes. November 14th, the program's wrapping up. They know that a lot of kids are embarrassed to ask for suits and dresses and that sort of thing, but if you're a school counsellor, a chaplain, you might be a parent who knows another kid that may not be going, just dob them in and let's get some suits and dresses out. They do need some smaller size suits for guys. They've got enough dresses for girls. They've got heaps of dresses for girls, and they can freight them anywhere in Australia, follow them on transport, freight them anywhere in Australia. So if you can know someone that is saying they're not going to their school formal because they can't get a suit or something, just dob them in. What's next, mate? Peak hour chaos in Toowoomba. Just a reminder, James and Ruthven Street, bad accident there yesterday. Knocked the traffic lights down.
Truck took out a traffic light.
Wow, yeah, so just drive safe. The roads are going to be wet. Panel beaters love it. I'm sure Ryan Smash Repair and
That's
all
probably
those.
why I've got so many of them in Toowoomba. Panel beaters just seem to love how great we are at driving up here. So
That's right. So just drive to the conditions. So,
and if you can't drive to the conditions, don't drive.
There's Queensland property prices. I was just reading on news.com.au set to go up by 20% over the next 4 years, and I wouldn't be surprised, mate, if I was living in Victoria. As soon as everything's out, I'd be just bolting. A lot of people are doing that in Darwin. They're going to Darwin, doing their quarantine. Darwin's gone through the roof. But what do you think, mate, with the property prices? I mean, do you think it'd be a good time to sell right now, or would you hold on for the next couple of years?
Depends what you got, I guess. I mean, I'm not a property expert,
Yeah.
so I know that there is quite a huge shortage of rentals. So if you've got something that potentially is a good rental, that may be good for you if you're looking at selling it.
Yep.
If you've got something that's a bit of a fixer-upper, well, is it really? But by all means, first home builders.
When I was
That's
in
where
real
it's
estate,
at the moment with all the government incentives. So
when I was in real estate, first thing I'd say is, do you want to sell? Do you need to sell? Do you have to sell? And if you don't have to sell, you don't sell. It's like the stock market. You hold on to your shares. Gay Hold Carpenters just joined in, and Bob and Deb, they're Ross's sister and brother-in-law, they've just joined in. But g'day, Gay. We've just given us a shout-out for the Project School Formal in case you missed it. Mate, Bathurst. COVID in the sewerage.
well, it's where you'd hope it would be, wouldn't it?
Now, they're asking everyone who went to Bathurst to get tested. For Christ's sake.
I didn't think anyone was
Jeez.
allowed to go to Bathurst. No one was allowed to camp there.
Oh, talk about backflip on the Cox Plate. The racing minister said, come join owners, trainers. 2 hours later he said, no, you can't come. Caused a bit of a stir down there, so should have thought that one through before...
Are they going to have Melbourne Cup in 2 weeks' time?
Well, Melbourne Cup's still running.
They're going to run the Cup?
Fitzies are sold out. We're going to do something at the sports club. I'm not sure what's going on. I think you just book a table. I haven't really heard, but it'll
It's
just
the race
be...
that stops the nation. It's the race that pretty much every professional service or administration building or government department just pretty much may as well close at lunchtime.
That's right.
And head to the pub. So
You want to do a half-day holiday, don't
I
you?
would love for it to be a half-day public holiday. Half-day public holiday for the second half of Melbourne Cup Day, and then one the following week in the morning for Remembrance Day.
I just reckon make it a public holiday and start drinking at 7 o'clock and just get into it.
Well, see, interestingly, last year I was in Thailand for Melbourne Cup Day.
So gamble over there.
No, you can't. It's illegal. It's very illegal. There are ways around it. The interesting thing in Thailand, because the race is 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings, so it's 2 p.m. in Queensland, but that meant that it was 11 a.m. in Thailand. So it was actually really, really interesting to be sitting there and enjoying the Melbourne Cup over a gin and tonic at what is essentially breakfast time over there. So
all the expats who would have been up early and getting into it.
Aussies everywhere in the pubs. They're all sitting there waiting for it. So
I must admit, mate, Adam Scott just came out after the golf tour. He's got COVID, and I had to eat a bit of humble pie talking to people about, I was scared about carnival flowers and visitors, and we've got no COVID in Toowoomba, which is great.
I don't know, are they checking the poo up here?
Well, Townsville got tested a couple of weeks ago and they had
Sundays.
COVID. Yeah, I mean, but I must admit, I maybe think Anna Palaszczuk's done a pretty good job. So we'll see what the people say on Saturday the 31st.
As Luke said, I feel sorry for the people that have to test the poo for COVID.
I've got to do that bowel cancer thing, mate, and send it off through Australia Post yet. And I was talking to a guy who did it. He did it, and he felt embarrassed about it, but he did it one test 1 year. Then he got one a couple of years later, and he sent it in the mail, and he had to get.
Well, let's just hope Australia Post don't put it in a PO box that isn't the place of where it's meant to go, like they've been doing to a lot of other businesses. So.
That'd be a surprise package. Shit. Gay's just said thank you for the shout out, so that's really cool. Adam, we talked about Adam Scott. Mate,
fire catastrophe?
WA is on fire. Yeah, fire catastrophe.
No one cares about Waxit.
Just
Western Australia want to succeed from the Commonwealth at this stage, so they're on their own. they want their borders closed, they're on their own.
Well, there's a lot of fire there, mate, so they're talking catastrophic today. It's going to be unreal. Did you see the meme about the VB bottle cap? Nat Sparray sent it to me. He cracked open the VB and the bottle cap. The question said, who made Victoria bitter? Do you know the answer?
Dan Andrews.
Classic.
Is that the actual answer?
Yeah, that's it.
Who
made Victoria bitter? Dan Andrews. It's on the bottle top. Yeah, they're good. So,
sounds like the Victorians are pretty jaded about their illustrious.
I think Dan might be still going to get in.
Leader.
If there was an election tomorrow, I reckon he'd still win. So, you beg to differ, but we'll see.
Look, the Stockholm syndrome down there is pretty rife, isn't it?
I don't understand that, but anyhow. Severe thunderstorms coming in 5 states. We've got parts of Queensland, northeast New South Wales, Northern Territory, South Australia and WA, so maybe they might put the fires out, but they might get more
start a hell of a lot more
lightning strikes, yeah. So, but the wish, hope, pray, meditate, put it out there for rain is certainly working, I hope.
Were you doing the naked rain dances this week?
I didn't do that this week, no. Luke asked me if I did, but no, I didn't do that.
Maybe that's what's done it.
So, looks like the Pope's come out of the closet, so to speak. He's supporting gay marriage, which I think is excellent. Maybe the Catholic Church is finally moving with the times.
Love is love.
That's right, exactly. So, you know, I just think that's great news, and, you know, maybe they've got to look at more other things, because we remember the Bishop of Toowoomba made a comment about women should be in the priesthood, and a couple of parishioners complained and he got the sack. Bishop Bill got the sack. So
it's I think it's just one of those things. We have to move with the times, and we should be tolerant
exactly
of other people's opinions, and they're right to that opinion.
Yep.
Because you know, what better way to breed a good society and to create the best that we can for the majority of people than to debate things and come to a consensus and to create good policy, I guess.
Yep. And
we should be questioning our leaders.
Oh, definitely. I want to give a shout out to Paul Reedy and the team at K&R Plumbing Supplies. The K&R Plumbing Supplies Expo is on Saturday the 31st, so when you go out and vote, you can come into the expo and you get a ticket.
Well, even better, don't go and vote. Go to the K&R Plumbing Supplies and get your pre-poll done.
Yeah, you could do that. So
spend your weekend doing actual important things.
So I'll be there all day Saturday. You can come up to K&R Plumbing Supplies, you get a little lucky draw ticket, and we do a draw every hour for some great prizes. So if you're thinking of building or renovating, everything from roof to underground, K&R Plumbing Supplies Expo at Rumours International on the 31st of October. So I will be there. Big weekend ahead, mate. Sport. AFL, NRL. It's going to be a big weekend.
Well, it's interesting, they were saying that the NRL are looking at the State of Origin and going, well, if it works really well this time, they may use the State of Origin as an end-of-season sort of celebration, as opposed to having it in the middle of the season.
I think the State of Origin should be not during the season, it should be at the end, exactly. There's too many injuries, and some of the great teams just start going really bad over State of Origin time.
Because half their players are gone.
They're injured, so... But I agree, I think that would be a good model.
Paul Melbourne Storm, you lose half their team to Queensland, don't they?
They do. So I owe you $10 too. I just remembered then I'll have to pay you sometime. So
what a shame.
So you're having the weekend off?
Yep, going to a wedding tomorrow, so off to a wedding on the sunny coast.
Okay, righto.
Well, finally dance at them again, so that's good.
Yeah, you need to be able to swing around the dance floor.
Well, I've got too much other thing. Honestly, I'm so busy at the moment. Weddings,
correspondence,
running two businesses,
writing letters.
Yes. So, and then there's people that want to just bring in undue stress, and it's like, oh really? I've got better things to do with my time to deal with that. So.
I'm 56. I don't really care anymore. So.
That's it. So, but listening to a story this morning, and again I'm going to highlight it. So Bill Shorten did a really great speech in Parliament this week about the government leaving behind the travel agents and the travel industry, and more needs to be done. But this morning there was an article in the news about how much money the travel industry is losing per day.
What's the figure?
$319 million.
Wow, that's a lot of do-re-mi.
Imagine how much better the economy would be doing if the travel industry was allowed to get back on its feet.
Yeah, gee, that's scary stuff. Scary stuff.
People always talk about, jobs in construction, jobs in mining. What about jobs in the travel industry? 'Cause that's a pretty big figure.
And as we've always said, COVID has really given hospitality and travel and the arts have really drawn the short straw from this thing. So, right, mate, that's about it. Don't forget Project School Formal. They really need some smaller size suits for the boys. And boys, do not forget you can get help from Project School Formal if you want it. If you know someone that is struggling that can't get to a school formal or they're embarrassed or whatever, just dob them into Project School Formal on Facebook. And as I said, they can get that stock anywhere in Australia. So chaplains, school community leaders, anyone, just do that. Do you want to just quickly do that one? And big shout out to Gay and Kim doing great work for Project School Formal.
What have they called it? The Business Journal from the Chamber of Commerce is out, as is High Life Downs Living is out as well. So you can pick those up all over Toowoomba. New travel brochures are starting to come out for 2021, 2022. Plenty of sales going on in the tourism industry. So if you are looking at taking a holiday, come in and see the team at Globetrotters. We do have to say, it is with heavy hearts that we unfortunately say goodbye to Anne. She passed away yesterday morning, and she was the former owner of Globetrotters. So our thoughts and prayers are with Clive and his family over that. So lots of sad times with that. So.
Yep, Vale Anne. Okay.
If you've ever been on a safari with Anne, you'll know exactly why it's such a big hit for.
I remember I started 4350 and I came down and filmed at one of their travel things, and quite interesting tours they have done and will be doing. And Clive will carry on that legacy.
Well, Clive will still run the safaris into Africa, and we'll help him with that through Globetrotters. We'll probably see that Clive will spend a bit of time in here talking to people and doing some classes and stuff to educate on wildlife. He's done a lot with the National Geographic, and so had Anne. So
he's got some great photos and great videos I've watched, and I think he was telling me a story once. I think he got Anne was lying down in this creek bed, and these zebras might have been jumping over the top of her. It was a stampede of animals, just amazing stuff. So, okay, Deb Dell's just joined in. Deb, have a great day, and Cecilia from over in the Philippines. So, okay, let's wrap it up. It's Thursday, 22nd of October. Oh, it's 2010-2020. 22-10-2020. Scary, the numbers. The year's nearly over. 7 weeks till Christmas.
Thank Christ.
7 Fridays. 7 Fridays till Christmas. So.
Well, it'd be... well, Christmas is the Friday, so in 7 weeks' time it'll be Christmas Eve, and you better have had your shopping done by then. If you are looking at buying stuff online, definitely do that now. Yeah,
definitely. Thanks to Luke, Light and Dark Productions, helping us out here with the
and to our studio audience. It is growing. If you want to come in and watch the show, by all means,
come and see us.
Come and see us. So.
172 Margaret Street. Okay, mate, that's a wrap. I'm Daryl Nicholson, more than just a postcode.
As always, like and share us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, share the posts. And if you ever want to use any of the material, just write to us and we can give you some, we'll give you special permission for that one. Thanks for joining us for Good Morning Toowoomba. I'm Ben Apsey.